All right, we're gonna go through what it takes to get a home for zero money out of pocket and show you this incredible home behind me. We're located here in Kapolei Knolls, which is just below Walmart area. And it's a really incredible story of my clients. And we've gone through trial after trial after trial to finally hit gold with this one. And I wanna tell you how we did it and how we made it possible and how it's possible for you too to do this. So enjoy the tour and then we'll circle back with a full story for you. All right, so now that you've seen this beautiful home, let's go into the story of who are the people that are actually buying it. I want to talk to you about my amazing clients because it has been a journey, like I said. So long story short, we're going to call them L and C today for their privacy, but L reached out to me on Instagram probably, I would say January, February, we were DMing each other. They used to be stationed here previously on Oahu. C is in the Army and has a great career here, and they were able to come back. As soon as they got orders, L was DMing me saying, hey, yes, we definitely want to buy a home. We're ready. We bought a home before, and this is probably going to be our last stop. We want to stay in Hawaii after this tour. And so I knew that. I was starting to plant seeds. She was browsing properties. And then fast forward, I think it was June when we finally started to link up. We got them pre-approved again, and we started to go on showings. We were going hot and heavy, probably 6-7 showings a week, just trying to really see what was on the market. And so what they were looking for, they needed a single family home. They were open to a townhome if they had to, but really wanted a single family home. They have a little 3 to 4 month old baby right now and ready to grow the family. Elle also has a online fitness business, so she was looking for a beautiful yard and a space that she could host people over to teach workout classes and film them. So really there was a lot of different qualifiers we were looking for within homes. And then with C being on Schofield, we needed somewhere that was within 30 minutes commute. So a lot of the search was focused on Mililani, and we actually ended up submitting, I think, about 4 offers, and every single offer we offered over $40,000 net to the seller. And then we had some credit ask on top of that. And every single time we got outbid, there was like 5 to 10 offers on these homes right now because there's just such limited inventory. So when you're looking at the single family zone between 950,000 and 1.1 million, there is little inventory, meaning like 10 homes in this area total. Out of those 10 homes, how many are actually move-in quality or don't need a ton of repairs? It was a perk if we had solar. It was a perk if it was upgraded, but not necessarily. And so we were willing to just submit on something even if it did need that work. But at the end of the day, the numbers had to make sense. We had to be able to get $32,000 in credit to pay down their interest rate, because I think at the time in June, July, we were getting like 6.5, 6.75, even 6.8 sometimes with just how the news was going. So we wanted to buy that into the 5s, which you can do that. So if you don't know that, you can do that. On a conventional side and a VA side, you can absolutely buy down your interest rate, but you need to have cash to do that. If you don't have the cash, we can ask the seller to do that by offering over to ask for money back, if that makes sense. And I can always walk you guys through that. And then we also didn't want to come out of pocket with any closing costs. And so for this couple, we needed to make sure that their closing costs were also included in that seller credit. And so when you're asking $32,000 over ask, for that money back, and also offering over so that the seller has a high enough amount and we're competitive with those other offers, it was really important that the appraisal value could come in as high as that top number. That was a concern for some of the Mililani homes where there wasn't anything up to 1.1 on appraisal, and most of the comps were in the high nines and low millions, right? And so if there's a big $50,000 gap, it's risky for a seller to accept that offer at times, even on this one. So let me share the story of this one. So this one, it was on market 7 days before we accepted an offer. I think on day 2, they sent it to me and I said, okay, let's get an ASAP. The MLS says offers are going to be reviewed the following Tuesday, but it also says seller has the right to accept an offer before Tuesday. So that automatically tells me as their agent, we do not have to wait till Sunday open house and wait for everybody else to offer on this. Let's go now. Let's go hard and heavy. Sure enough, they came in, loved the home. As you can see, it's renovated top to bottom, a beautiful job, beautiful finishes. This is not lipstick on a pig. This is done right. You can really tell all the appliances upgrades that they did were very intentional. Just going through it, we knew this was the one. And C told me, he's like, Marina, if you can make this happen, I know it's a long shot, but let's just go for it and see what happens. So luckily, I know the agent. She's part of our organization with Collab Agents. And so I said, hey girl, we got this offer. Here's what we need. What do we think? First red flag was the appraisal. Okay, let's do a hard look at the comps, right? Do we think we can get it appraised at what we're offering for and not have a risk to the seller? Looking at what we saw in this neighborhood specifically in Kapolei Knolls, there has been very little transactions in the last 6 months and none of this caliber and none of this renovation style. So that tells me the appraiser is going to have to look further back in history and even expand his search outside of the neighborhood. So then when you look outside the neighborhood, oh, we're good. We're looking at 1.2s, 1.1s, but they're sometimes a year to a year and a half older. This is where it's hard as an agent because we don't have the mind of an appraiser. We can guess what they're going to use as factors, but we don't know specifically. So when we got the appraiser scheduled, I came armed with, I have a packet somewhere, but it's my comps. I came with 5 pages of comparable properties that I went through and I said, you know what? I know there's limited comps, but based on what I'm seeing, I just want to share this information with you as extra insight and no pressure to you whatsoever. This is what I sent him, and this is what I do as a buyer's agent to help the appraiser, not to force him or to tell him how to do his job, but just to say, just in case you didn't factor these in, here's a few more for you to consider. So the appraisal prices that I was using, the comps, are $1,130,000, $1,180,000, 1.2, 1.2, and we are offering, $1,042,000 on this. And so they're all way over what we're actually offering, despite what the market is doing. If people are saying it's depreciating and it's going down in value right now because of interest rates, this shows me that these comps are over like $100,000 more than what we're currently offering. So it looks really strong. So it was still a gamble. We were sitting on the edge of our seats going, I don't know if it's gonna praise, but we're gonna say our prayers, drop it to our knees, and just see if we can swing this thing. Also with the timeline, so we got accepted on Thursday. Friday we had inspection scheduled, like literally the next day. Appraiser came that same Friday, and then by Monday we had conditional loan approval, and by Tuesday we had final loan approval because the appraisal came in. And the termite inspection was done on Saturday. So literally we went from accepted offer to final loan approval in 4 freaking days. I've never done that before in my history of my career. Neither has my loan officer. Shout out to Rylan and Kira on a VA loan. This just shows you proficiency and skill set on their side, and their systems and processes are so dialed in that if anyone tells you that a VA loan is weak, then they don't know what they're talking about. And I have seen time and time again where my specific loan officers are able to close in 21 days or less consistently, no appraisal issues at all. Not to say it can't happen, but I think really when the agent is prepared and the lender is prepared and we have this team attitude and we're super communicative and our buyers are on board and we're just chunking through the paperwork, like the second you send it over, we're gonna sign it within 1 hour, amazing. And so if it wasn't for the title company saying, actually, we need X amount of days to close with the title deed transfer and all of the back end stuff, we could have closed this week, which would have been within 14 days on a VA loan. Insane. So we are closing next week instead, but it is so freaking fast and they're getting their dream home. This is going to be their forever home for at least for the next decade for sure. And it's beautiful. Like nothing they have to do. They just move in and enjoy it. It's got central air, which is also really rare here in Hawaii. All you got to do is pop on some solar panels on the roof, which we're working on a quote, and they can really enjoy this home. And with the solar, fun fact, so even if you're buying a brand new system, we can structure the loan payment so that your loan payment is less than your electric bill would be without solar. So it's still a cost savings and you're actually adding equity to your home value because you're adding a cash producing asset to the top of your roof, right? So it's producing power for you. So just so many good perks and fun things about this home. And I'm so overjoyed that it all worked out. It really was a godsend. And we sent our prayers multiple times before, middle, and we're gonna pray after about this home. But such a blessing to this family. So that's just one story out of a dozen that I have about how we have been able to really just like get the expectation of the client, bring them down based on the market, and then over exceed that based on some miracle property that pops up and some magical deal that happens. But it doesn't happen by itself. It happens with good team and good proficient professionals who know what they're doing, and this isn't their first rodeo. So if you guys are interested, like I said, we'll wrap this up, but I think there's so many more stories to come. So thank you for listening to this one. All right, so that's a wrap on this house. I hope you guys enjoyed the tour, enjoyed the story, and got some inspiration on how you can do this too. But biggest thing, you guys gotta reach out to me. If I don't know that you're watching this video, I can't truly help you. And I keep hearing it time and time again, how people are getting misinformation about their VA loan, misinformation about the real estate market here in Hawaii, and ultimately are ending up frustrated and feeling like they're hitting wall after wall and not able to actually pursue their home ownership goals. So I want to be that guru for you. I want to help handhold you through the process, and I look forward to talking with you guys soon. See ya.